When it comes to sales, life, and business, why is it important to pay attention to how they react to wins and losses? I'm Scott Sylvan Bell. I'm coming to you live from Sacramento, California, a perfect day to talk about sales and a perfect day to talk about business and life. So here you go. I've had the opportunity over the last 7 years to ride with salespeople just about every day. And I like to take notes and I like to observe. And if you are a sales manager, you want to pay attention. If you are looking at getting a relationship, you're going to want to pay attention, because the way that somebody reacts to their wins is cool. It could be a problem. But what's even more important is the way that somebody acts to their losses. So when somebody loses a deal, when somebody loses out on something, when something does not go their way, what do? Do they look at it and they blame other people? That's a problem. If they do, I'm just going to like huge warning sign, that's a problem. Or if they look at themselves and go, hey, look, if it is to be, it's up to me. I got to make sure to deal with everything myself, right? You can't be a victim and closer at the same time. It's virtually impossible. So this relates to life in so many different levels. When I ride with a salesperson and we get out of the car, we go to the sales appointment, I watch them lose, because like sometimes salespeople do lose. When we get back to the car and they throw a fit, how they act really does matter. So if you're a sales manager and you're paying attention, this is a huge thing, because that person could be a potential problem in a company, in an industry. You know, like they come back to the office and all they do is they become a time parasite. They eat up everybody's hearing. Like, you wouldn't believe that just what happened to me. Like, you know what? Come on, you're a professional. Get over it. Right? There's a difference between like venting a little bit and venting way too much. Now, if you're looking for a significant other, right, you're going to want to pay attention to how that person wins and how they lose. Because, like, you know what? Winning can be wrong too. I know a guy who was an arrogant jerk and he has to win everything and he pushes so many people away. It's not a good thing. It creates problems. So there's a whole pendulum here. You got somebody who wins. How do they act if they go too far? Not good. How does somebody lose? And if they lose, how does that look and what do they do? It is a big deal in personal life and it is in business. It's not just a sales situation. So you're like, hey, Scott, how can I tell these things? Well, you know, one of the things to do is get people around you to play games. Now, there's a difference between competition and just being a complete jerk. And people will show who they really are if you could get somebody to play a game with you. And you're like, hey, Scott, how do I make that work? I don't know. Do it in your job interview. Do it in the probation period. If you're in a relationship, take somebody to game night and see what happens. Do they cry and sulk? Do they blame other people? Probably not a good person to hang around. Probably not a good person to be in a relationship. And probably not a good person to have in your business. You're like, hey, Scott, should I profile people? Absolutely, you should, right? So there you go. Pay attention to how people win and how people lose and then how they treat people, because that person is either going to treat you that way or your clients that way, and it could not end up well, right? There you go. Now you got one thing to do from here. Just one thing. Find the subscribe button and click on it, and every time I send out a video, you'll get an alert from the YouTube that says, hey, Scott Sylvan Bell sent out a video. You should watch it, which you should because they're awesome. We'll see you soon. Thanks for dropping by. Aloha.